I'm Dennis Chambers, and you're watching the Guimadrum podcast.
So the first question is that we know that you started playing the drums when you were a little kid, but when did you realize that you wanted to be a professional musician, and when did you get your first great gig?
I started playing at the age of 4 years old, and it was because my mom was a background singer for Motown Records. Okay, she left Motown when I was 2 years old. She put a band together, and they used to practice at my grandmother's house, sometimes in my parents' apartment. I can still remember the drummer. The drummer name was Booney, and he played a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He played a 5-piece kit, Ludwig kit, and the kit was Champagne Sparkle. Yeah, Champagne Sparkle, and they were rehearsing My Guy. Yeah, they were rehearsing My Guy, and I fell in love with the whole idea of playing drums from that. Mm-hmm. Okay, from that, day one, I picked up a pair. Like when the rehearsal was over, I picked up a pair of knives and forks and practice on furniture, like wooden tables, and mess it up. My father used to, when he come home, he used to beat the crap out of me because I was damaging the furniture. So they brought me a kit when I was 4, and I never looked back since. So from the age of 4 up until 19, my major influences were people who played on Stax recordings. Stax recordings was artists like Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, Isaac Hayes, and the Barcades, and so forth, so forth. So when I learned how to play, I learned how to play by emulating records. By emulating records, I emulated the guys who played in the James Brown recordings, which is Clyde Stubblefield, Melvin Parker, and Stubble Wrights, and so forth and so forth. And it just went on and on and on. So it went into jazz recordings, the jazz records. I learned how to play by emulating Buddy Rich, emulating Tony Williams, emulating Elvin Jones, emulating Papa Joe Jones, emulating all these jazz greats, Tony Williams and I saw Tony Williams when I was like 6 or 7 years old, who played with Miles Davis's band. And it should have been the other way around. It should have been Miles Davis and Tony Williams' band, because the way it sounded to me, as I remembered it, it sounded like Tony was the front guy in the band. Okay. And I didn't understand any of what I was hearing at the time because it was so far over my head. But I knew I was witnessing something great. And it sounded like Tony Williams was playing for the last time in his life. I never forget it. And then the same thing when I saw Mahavishnu play with Billy. It was like he was playing like the cops were outside waiting for him. Like this will be the last time he ever played in his life. And I couldn't sleep for 48 hours after I saw it and heard it, because I realized, I realized to myself, like I said to myself, if I have to do this, you mean this is what I gotta do? I mean, because I'm gonna kill myself, because those guys were playing, like they were really playing. Okay. The very first gig at the age of 6, it was with a band called the Fingertips, and it was a club called Peyton Place in Baltimore, Maryland, which is the same place where I saw Miles and Tony Williams. Yeah.
Okay. The next question would be, what kind of job did you have before being a professional drummer? Did you have any other?
No.
No?
No. I was always a drummer.
Yeah. What are the most important characteristics you think a drummer must have?
A drummer must have perfect time. A drummer must have perfect understanding of what his role is in a band. His role in a band is like perfect time. Also, to um, you know come across if you're playing with three, four, or such as myself when I play with Santana, which is 11, or such as myself when I play with Parliament Funkadelic, that's like 30 people. So you have to aid the 30 people. You have to aid with Santana. You have to aid with 11 people. You have to aid with John McLaughlin. There was three of us. So you have to understand. You can't like overplay the gig, but you can't underplay the gig either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And play what you feel.
I heard once that I wanted to ask you if it is true that you don't know how to read music.
No, I don't. I don't read music at all.
Did it ever affected you in any way as a drummer?
No.
Uh, this is a silly question.
But see, there's what people don't know, or some people don't know, that the fact there's a whole list of people who don't read music.
Yeah.
Buddy Rich was one of them. Buddy Rich was one of them. Okay. Buddy Rich had a memory like an elephant. Lenny White, who played with Return to Forever, was one of them. Okay. Lenny White has a memory of an elephant. Billy Sheehan is the bass player.
Oh, yeah?
Who played with Tallis, Mr. Big, Steve Vai. Has a memory of an elephant who don't read music.
It's true that Santana don't
Santana don't read. He's got a memory of an elephant. There's a whole list of people who don't read music.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't read music.
Okay.
What I'm saying is if you can't retain stuff in your head, because for me and people like myself, listening to a piece of music is like having a conversation. If I can remember a conversation I had with you a month from now, that's just like reading music to me.
Okay. How many drum sets do you have?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. I got a lot.
A lot. Okay. A lot would be 10, more than 10?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Do you play any other instrument?
Bass guitar, and I play keyboards. Bass guitar is my second instrument. Good. And I also collect basses from my favorite bass players. I got a Jaco Pastorius bass that I got from Jaco.
Wow.
I got a Larry Graham's bass that I got from Larry Graham. I got Victor Wooten and a Victor Bailey's bass I got from them. I got the bass from the Yellow Jackets. I can't think of it. Jimmy Haslett bass. I got a John Patitucci bass. I got a Gary Granger bass. I got a Neil Sklar bass. I got a lot of basses. I got 18 basses.
18?
Oh, no, 21 basses.
Cool.
But also collect guitars, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have a Santana guitar?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have a Santana guitar. I got a John McLaughlin guitar, which is a 1966 scallop neck.
Wow.
So the neck goes like this.
Yeah, scallop.
So I got a scallop neck guitar that's 1966. It's worth a fortune.
Oh yeah. Do you play with those instruments once in a while? No? No. Okay. Which was the most embarrassing or funny situation you ever experienced as a drummer?
One time I was playing with Steely Dan in a place called the Superdome or the Thunderdome. And my ear monitor fell out of my ear. And I realized at that point why they call it the Thunderdome, because when you play musically, like if you hit a note, you hear that sucker for about a week in that building. So I'm playing and I can't hear, it all sounded like mumbo jumbo, because every note sounded like it had like a 40-second delay on it.
Wow.
So then, it becomes like, since I had the thing out of my ear for so long, actually out of my right ear, it sounded like we were playing another song. I didn't know what we were playing at that point. That was most embarrassing.
Okay.
The greatest moment of my life or my drumming career, either it was with playing with John Schofield or doing the Buddy Rich Memorial or playing with Parliament Funkadelic.